Welcome, my friends of the interwebs. Well, over the last few months, I've been asked on several occasions, whatever happened to that Eaton Red Cross emergency radio that you used to have out on your bench? Well, there it is. There it is. Well, I would tell people that I was busy putting it through the paces, putting it through the ringer, and I did. I'll tell you what, I used this little radio hard. I mean, I literally used it every day. I don't have a clue how many Rush Limbaugh radio programs has been aired over this thing, along with Mark Levin. I used this thing. I would take it with me places. I literally had a flashback to the 80s because it was my boombox. I mean, I literally took it with me. I went walking with this thing one day with no battery, and the battery the battery cell that comes with the thing was drained. And just from the solar panel, I walked on a 2-mile hike and listened to Rush Limbaugh. Just from the solar panel. Listen, everybody knows I'm a friend of coal. Everybody knows I'm a coal guy. But I do believe in certain technologies. I think that this solar panel makes this radio work, and that's a great thing. Clearly solar has its limitations, but for what it is good for, I support 1,010%. This is one of the things it's good for absolutely. Now, there are some things about this radio that do not function as advertised. But you know what? I'll get to that. Let me hold off on that for now. Let me go over some of the features that I actually kind of like. Oh, before I do that, listen. When I say I used it hard, I used it hard. As you notice, I broke the antenna. See, broke it. It's only a screw down here that holds that on. I'm going to get a replacement eventually. But I just didn't do it, especially since I wanted to do this review to show you. That broken antenna hasn't affected its reception at all. So, it's pretty durable, but I knocked it off I had the antenna fully extended, and then I knocked this off my desk, accidentally, bumped it with the back of my chair. And anyway, it hit. It's definitely not an indictment against the quality of this antenna. This antenna is as good as any radio's antenna that I've ever seen. But it hit the floor and it broke. I mean, I can't really blame that on the radio at all. Shit like that's going to happen. But I do like the fact that it does look like it would be a fairly easy fix with a screw there if you can get this replacement antenna, and I'm guessing that you probably can. Should be easy enough at least. Okay. Things that I really like about this radio. Well, alright, we've already talked about the solar panel. The solar's nice because if your rechargeable batteries, and I'll get to that in a minute, but if your rechargeable batteries are dead, and your cell, I should probably show you when I'm talking about that. There's two types of batteries in this thing. These are rechargeable batteries, AAA batteries that belong to me that I bought to put in this. And this is the battery cell that came with the radio. So this gets charged up by the solar panel or by the dyno. The dyno, which, I'll talk about that in a couple minutes. But, it has a limited life. It does. It has a limited life, few hours for the most part, and then this is drained. Sometimes it would go longer than that. Like I said, I used this thing hard. So that's why I do recommend you use rechargeable AAAs. These are energizers that are in here right now. And I'll talk about that in a little bit, too. A little bit more, I should say, in a little bit. So anyway, if these batteries are dead, this thing will, if it's sunny out, it will run off of this solar panel. Now, of course, you've got to have decent sun. That's one of the limitations of solar. It isn't going to work at night, and it isn't going to work if it's a heavily overcast day, but for the most part, this is nice. There were a couple of times when my batteries were dead, and I went outside and I could listen to the radio just off of the power that was generated from the solar panel. Now, I will tell you, I did run into a situation where my batteries were dead. I didn't have any backup rechargeables that were good to go. And it was in the evening, and I was screwed. Well, I shouldn't say screwed. Let me talk about the dyno real quick. I kind of wanted to go over the things I liked first, and then I was going to hit the things I didn't like. But since I kind of segued in, I'm going to go ahead and just listen. This is a great option as what I call your last ditch option, okay? Because I'm here to tell you, unless you've got some really energetic kids, that gets old after a while. And you crank this thing, 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 and you get, I don't know, 10 minutes of radio play. And, you know, and then the thing will quit on you, and then you're like, oh, okay, here we go again. And you crank this thing, and you crank this thing. Now, you can charge the solar cell if you want to sit on the couch and crank, but I gotta be honest with you, man, it'll wear you out. It's a last ditch, I really need to know what's going on type of option. No doubt about it. The solar panel and the sun works so much better, believe me. Works so much better. But ultimately, you really want to have the batteries. Now, I never did buy, there is, on the back of this, there's a, you can put a DC power in there. I probably actually even have one that'll work with this radio. I never bothered with that. Oh, you know, and while I got this, here's one of my chief complaints about this unit. I did leave this out accidentally. I was charging the batteries with the solar, the battery cell that came with, because unfortunately, this solar panel, for some strange reason, will not charge your rechargeable batteries, and that's one thing that I think kind of blows. But I'll get to that in a little bit too. I left it out on the back deck. It was a very nice, beautiful, sunny day. And I left it out there for a couple hours to charge the battery. And I'll tell you what, it started raining cats and dogs. You know, but this thing is well sealed. I mean, it is an emergency radio. And it did not have any issues. But I will tell you that when I've used, and I've not used the headphones at all. I did not use the headphones. But I will tell you that when I used the charger for the phone, which is here, if you look, you pull that back, pull that back, put your charger in. In fact, let me do that. I think I'm pretty sure I brought it out with me. I did. Okay, so here's the phone charger. Okay. This end goes to the phone, like so. Okay, and this end here goes to this. Okay, now, a couple of things. Well, let me talk about that first. That should theoretically charge up your cell phone, but it doesn't. It won't. It will not do. It will not charge this Droid X2. I do not know if it charges other phones, but I will tell you, and I'll show you. Okay, that, and you can tell, if you know anything about the Droid X2, as you can tell, it's not charging at all. So it does not charge this phone. I don't know why. I tried everything I could think of. I put it in the sun. I cranked it. I did everything I could possibly do to try to get this thing to charge this phone. And it just wouldn't do it. So I don't know if it's a Droid X2 issue or what. But here's where I was going with this anyway. This this rubber kind of a gasket, and you can see on the inside there, which goes in there. Once you take it out, it's very hard to get this thing to snap back in to cover it. Which it's designed to make it somewhat water resistant. Now it didn't do too bad there. Well, there it popped out again. It's designed to be somewhat water resistant, but it just won't it won't close right. You know, I don't know what the problem is. It won't stay closed, at least. Okay, and I think I showed you. I never once used these features here, the flashlight, but it's nice to have it. I mean, it's just nice to have it. It's nice to know it's there. Now, here are your options, by the way. You've got your power, your dyno, solar, battery, and cell, and then over here is your display. And then you can see, for example, right now it's on solar. If I go to battery, it'll flip up the battery. It'll flip up the battery, and then if I turn it on to power,
I think that's safe to say. I mean, this is a pretty.
We got talk radio, which is pretty much what I like. The sound quality is decent. It's actually pretty decent. The speaker works really fairly well, to be honest with you, and the volume.
So folks are trying to figure out what it means for them.
It's not crazy loud. It'll get less loud as the battery starts to wear down. So, and then up top, it's harder to see, but up here, okay, you've got your controls for the clock. It's got an alarm, sleep mode. It's so you got like your own little alarm set up there, which is kind of nice. And then on here, okay, this button here, well, this button here is the tuner. All right, so you change your radio stations with that. But this one up here is, well, that'll put it to FM. It goes AM, FM, and then it's got your weather bands. Okay. So, and you just hit the power again, and it's off. Yeah, I mean, this has been a really, really, really decent radio. I think it's worth the money. I mean, it's not a real expensive radio. People have told me there are better units out there. But in all honesty, for the money, I can't really complain about this. I don't, you know, like I said, I don't blame the antenna situation on the radio. This radio is a solid radio. It will break if you drop it or do something harsh to it. Yeah, absolutely, it will break. Could it be a little louder? Yeah, it sure could. You know, but for the most part, I want to talk to you a little bit though about the batteries. Because I've been, and the only batteries that's ever been in this thing have been rechargeable batteries. Something to think about though, it'll eat through the batteries fairly quickly. I use this Duracell deal. You can get these anywhere. This flips down and you just plug it into your wall outlet. I really, really, really wish that this thing would charge these rechargeable batteries if I use the Sun or even the Dyno. That would be a feature that I would absolutely love. If anybody knows of an emergency radio that will do that, let me know. You know, let me know, because that would be awesome. Because to me, if you're in an emergency situation and the power grid's down, this isn't going to do you a damn bit of good. You know, that's another thing too. If anybody knows of a decent solar charger that will power this, let me know. Or if there's a solar charger that's sole purpose in life is to charge batteries, let me know about that. Real quickly about rechargeable batteries though, you know, you can get this for like 10 or 15 bucks. They do make some that are a little bit more expensive than this, and it'll charge the AAA or the AA batteries, and then of course they make different kinds. But the one thing I've learned about rechargeable batteries, for example, let me okay, so this is a Energizer battery here. Okay, Energizer. And this is a Duracell. Okay. The one thing that I've noticed is that you don't want to use mix and match when you're into radio. You want, if you notice, these are all Energizers in here. Because for whatever reason, when you've got a mix and match, I don't know why, but they seem to run through the batteries a lot quicker than if you have all three of the same. Now, I am not an expert on rechargeable batteries, so I really don't know the answer to why that happens. Another thing, I have a battery tester, a voltage meter, what do you want to call it, but it's at my house in Kentucky. Another thing that I've learned too is that if you have one battery that goes bad on you, all right, you need a way, let me put it this way, you need a way to be able to test all your batteries. You just do. Because if one goes bad on you, it will screw everything up. You'll get, well, and let me explain it to you. I had one that was bad, just one that was bad. And the radio played for 15 minutes and then quit playing. And I just charged them up. It starts out with a red light and then it goes to a green light when it's charged. I literally had just charged the batteries up. So I'm like, well, what the hell? Well, it turns out that one of those batteries was bad, you know, and it screwed everything up. So you need a way to be able to test them. I actually had to take my batteries over to my buddy Keith's and have him check them, and there was one that was just bad, you know. So something to think about when you're talking about rechargeable batteries. But rechargeable batteries, in my opinion, are a must-have. I'm going to do a whole video on which ones I like and why. Oh, a big shout out to the Roxy Star. Yeah, I love cigar boxes. Cigar boxes kick ass. I keep my rechargeable batteries. These are not all my rechargeable batteries, but I keep my rechargeable batteries in this wooden box, and it seems to work out pretty well for me. But so anyway, yeah, that's my little thing about rechargeable batteries. But definitely get yourself some. They're a must-have. But having said that, like I said, the biggest thing for me at least would be a solar way to charge them. Because if shit hits the fan, or the power grid's down, like we've seen happen recently, you're kind of screwed. You know, there's no way. Once the batteries are done, they're done. Rechargeable batteries. And by the way, all rechargeable batteries have some kind of greenness to them because it's green. But rechargeable batteries, although they're awesome, they don't last as long as a battery that's not rechargeable. It's just the facts. It's just the way it is. Which is okay if you can recharge them, but I think it makes the most sense if you can do it solar-wise. And I would love that. I would absolutely love to be able to recharge that instead of having to plug it into my outlet in house. Although I'm not, seriously though, these are cool. You should get one. You really should. You should get one, a charger. So anyway. I recommend this radio. I really do. It's the only one I've ever had though, so I don't really have anything else to compare it to. But I will tell you that it did everything I really well, I shouldn't say everything I wanted to, but it really did. It met my expectations. If we had a situation where the power went out, where the grid went down, or just shit hit the fan, I feel in my heart having this radio would be a godsend, because it would allow me to listen to the world and find out what's going on. It would allow me some form of communication with the world, in the sense that I would be able to, and it's light enough, by the way, throw in your bug out bag, throw in your vehicle, or carry it with you. I carried this thing for a couple miles. It doesn't weigh anything. It's just nice. I mean, it's not perfect, but it's just nice. Things that I would like to see, the two biggest things, is I would like to be able to charge my phone, and I would like it to be able to charge my rechargeable batteries, not just the solar cell. But other than that, I don't really have any complaints whatsoever about this radio. If anybody's got a better one that they can think of, put it in the comment section, and I'll go see if I can't pick one up and check that one out. I mean, keep it under a couple $100. I mean, I know there's probably some radios out there that are $1,000, but that's not really what I'm looking for anyway. But you should really have some kind of emergency radio like this, and make sure that you have either batteries or rechargeable batteries, or make sure the solar cell's hooked up, because like I said, otherwise you're going to wait for a sunny day. Although, if you have a sunny day, one thing I would like to do, and I think I will do it this winter when the days aren't quite as bright, I'd be very curious to see what kind of performance this has on a very gloomy day. I know that I had some overcast days here where it didn't work very well as far as being able to listen to the radio. But, I mean, all in all, though, what a great little radio. What a great little radio. So anyway... yeah, and I used it. Normally, when I would listen to talk radio anymore, I just do it on my computer, live streaming. But, I gotta be honest with you, this was kind of nice. It really just was, because there were times when I was on the computer now, but I was listening to talk radio with this, and then, I wanted to go out back or something. I just grabbed this and went. Just grabbed it and went. So, anyway, this is going to be a long video for me, because I don't normally do real long videos. But, yeah, if you got any questions, let me know. I've pretty much told you everything I know about it. By the way, I got this at Lowe's. However, the last several times that I've been to Lowe's, they've not had these. They're out of them, and I don't know. I never asked to see if they were going to get any more back in. And by the way, for those of you, this cord is the cord that I use every day to charge this phone. So there's absolutely nothing wrong with this cord. The cord is not the problem. Now, that doesn't mean I'm not doing something wrong, but the cord is not the problem. All right, everybody, that's all I got for you. No sense in this going over 20 minutes. Everybody take care. See ya!